U.S. Secretary of State Michael Pompeo admitted that US-made Patriot missile defense systems failed to repel the recent attack on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's oil facilities. The Department of State press service quoted Pompeo as saying upon his arrival to Jeddah, "We've seen air defense systems all around the world have mixed success. Some of the finest in the world don't always pick things up. We want to work to make sure that infrastructure and resources are put in place such that attacks like this would be less successful than this one appears to have been." In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Patriot Missile System failed to protect Saudi Arabian oil facility from attack. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. On September 14th, facilities of Saudi Arabia's oil company, Aramco, located in the east of the country, came under attack. As per reports, the raid began around 4 a.m. and drones as well as cruise missiles were used in the attack. There were 18 drones and 7 missiles. The world's biggest oil refinery near the city of Abqaiq and a refinery near Khurais, where Saudi's second largest oil field is located, were targeted. Being facilities of very significant importance, they were protected by layered air defense. The outer layer was Patriot PAC-2 surface-to-air missile batteries that the U.S. sold to Saudi Arabia to intercept aircraft and missiles. The inner layer consisted of several short-range automatic gun systems that were designed for last-ditch defense. In this case, the Patriot air defense failed to detect the incoming threats or was too late. From amateur videos available online, it seems that Patriot fired interceptor missiles randomly, which failed to bring down the intended targets. The automatic gun systems were fired sporadically, but the threats were not taken down. The attack disrupted shipments of 5.7 million barrels of oil daily, which is around 50% of Saudi Arabia's output. Tensions peaked when Donald Trump said the U.S. was locked and loaded and ready to respond, saying the U.S. knew who was behind them, indicating Iran's hand. The Patriot Missile System, manufactured by Raytheon, is an air defense system designed to protect against different kinds of aerial threats. It entered service in 1981. The Patriot system has 4 major operational functions: communications, command and control, radar surveillance, and missile guidance. The 4 functions are designed to work seamlessly to provide a coordinated, secure, integrated, mobile air defense system. Different variants of Patriot systems have been sold to many countries like the Netherlands, Poland, Germany, Japan, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, to name a few. The Patriot system is expected to remain in the service until at least 2040. Saudi Arabia has the Patriot PAC-2 variant. The eye of the Patriot air defense system is the AN/MPQ-65 radar, which is used to detect and track targets. The AN/MPQ-65 radar is a passive electronically scanned array radar. It's equipped with IFF, identification, friend or foe, and electronic countermeasure to resist jamming. The radar has a range of around 100 miles or 160 kilometers. The PAC-2 missile is 5.8 meters, 19 feet, 0 inches long, weighs about 900 kilograms or 2,000 pounds, and is propelled by a solid-fueled rocket motor. It has a range of 45 miles or 70 kilometers and can reach a maximum altitude of 15 miles or 24 kilometers. On paper, the Patriot system available to Saudi Arabia should have been able to defend against the attack, but it was not to be, and this is not the first time. On February 25, 1991, an Iraqi Scud hit the barracks in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, killing 28 soldiers from the U.S. Army's 14th Quartermaster Detachment. A government investigation revealed that the failed intercept at Dhahran had been caused by a software error in the system's handling of timestamps. The Patriot Missile Battery at Dhahran had been in operation for 100 hours, by which time the system's internal clock had drifted by 1/3 of a second. Due to the missile's speed, this was equivalent to a missed distance of 600 meters. The radar system had successfully detected the Scud and predicted where to look for it next. However, the timestamps of the two radar pulses being compared were converted to floating point differently, one correctly, the other introducing an error proportionate to the operational time so far, 100 hours, caused by the truncation in a 24-bit fixed-point register. As a result, the difference between the pulses was wrong, so the system looked in the wrong part of the sky and found no target. With no target, the initial detection was assumed to be a spurious track. No interception was attempted, and the Scud impacted on a makeshift barracks in an Al Khobar warehouse, killing 28 soldiers. These were the first Americans to be killed from the Scuds that Iraq had launched against Saudi Arabia and Israel. On June 6, 2015, a Patriot battery was used to shoot down a Scud missile fired at Saudi Arabia by Houthi rebels in response to the Saudi Arabian-led intervention in Yemen. Another Scud was fired at an electricity station in Jazan province and intercepted by a Saudi Patriot on August 26, 2015. Saudi Arabia claims that another long-range ballistic missile was fired toward Mecca and intercepted by a Saudi Patriot on October 28, 2016. However, Houthi sources say that the missile's intended target was the Air Force Base in King Abdulaziz International Airport in Jeddah, 65 kilometers or 40 miles northwest of Mecca. On March 20, 2017, a Kasef-1 drone was used by Houthi forces to strike Saudi Patriot systems deployed against Yemeni missiles. On March 25, 2018, a missile apparently fired from Yemen was intercepted by a Patriot missile over Riyadh. So it can be said that the Patriot system deployed in Saudi Arabia has seen a fair share of hits and misses. The reason for the failure can be understood from the comments made by John Rood, Undersecretary of Defense for Policy. He said, "We're seeing asymmetric investments in things like swarming UAS technology, like unmanned aerial systems that really fly more like the cruise missiles. It's a serious problem." Rood didn't specifically mention the Saudi attacks, but indications were clear. Speaking at a Center for European Policy Analysis event in Washington, he said the threats from such weapons and tactics have developed faster than NATO's ability to rework missile defense and radar systems to detect smaller, faster-moving objects. He added further, "As part of our investment priorities, we have to shift as an alliance where we're putting our level of effort, if you will, to put a little more emphasis in that area." Seth Jones, a counterterrorism expert at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, stated, "Almost no state could have fully thwarted such an unconventional attack." He added, "The vulnerability of Saudi Arabia's critical infrastructure is probably impossible to entirely defend." Jones said, though the Saudis are fairly well prepared to defend against conventional threats such as warplanes. Air defense, especially against small, fast, and maneuvering threats, is complex to pull off, and even a small niggle in the sequence will result in certain failure. No air defense is foolproof, and the probability of success reduces as the area to defend increases. It remains to be seen how America responds to growing asymmetric threats like these in the future.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.